All right, let's pull back the curtain and dive into the high-tech, high-stakes world of the modern pharmacy. It's a place that's being totally transformed by robotics, and we're about to see exactly how this whole thing works.
I mean, really think about that for a second. The scale is just mind-boggling. In a big hospital, we're talking thousands upon thousands of doses every single day. And the margin for error? It's zero. Absolutely zero. The answer to how they pull that off isn't just about dedicated people anymore. It's about this new wave of unbelievably sophisticated automation.
So, to really get why these robots are such a game changer, we have to understand the intense environment they were built for. Let's step inside what I like to call the pharmacy pressure cooker. For pharmacists and technicians, the day-to-day is just a relentless flood of prescriptions. They're under incredible pressure to work fast, but at the same time, one tiny mistake could have huge consequences. A big chunk of their day is spent on these really repetitive tasks, counting pills, searching for boxes, which, let's be honest, is a perfect recipe for burnout. And that right there, that's the central problem. It's this constant battle between the need for speed and the absolute non-negotiable need for safety. It's a tightrope walk these professionals have to do every single minute of every single day. And that's the challenge automation is trying to solve. So what is the solution? Well, it's not just one big robot that does everything. It's way cooler than that. It's more like a coordinated team of machines, a whole ecosystem where every part works together. The best way to picture it is like a symphony orchestra, right? Each instrument has a really specific and vital part to play. You've got specialists for storage, you've got others for packaging, and then some for super secure dispensing right there at the patient's bedside. And the amazing part is they're all communicating, all working in perfect harmony. So let's meet the key players on this team. First up, you've got BD Rowa. Think of it as the master librarian in the central pharmacy, using robotics to find any medication with incredible precision. Then there's Parata, the high-speed specialist that's all about packaging prescriptions. And finally, you have Pyxis, which is kind of like a secure vault right on the hospital floor, making sure nurses get the right meds exactly when and where they need them. Okay, so that's the team. But what does this look like in action? Let's follow a single prescription on its high-tech journey through this system to see how all these pieces click together. It all kicks off the second an order comes in. Instantly, the BD Rowa robotic arm just whirs to life, zips over, finds the exact medication it needs in a matter of seconds, and sends it on its way. Now, if this prescription is for, say, a mail-order pharmacy, it might go to a Parata machine, which expertly packages all the doses. And the final stop? That's the Pyxis cabinet, where a nurse can securely grab that exact medication right where it's needed most, right next to the patient. It's a completely seamless, tracked, and verified journey from the very beginning to the very end.
Okay, so the tech is obviously really impressive, but why does it actually matter? What's the real, tangible impact of putting a system like this in place?
Well, the difference is just night and day. The old way meant people manually searching shelves, counting pills, and checking labels, all things that take up so much time and are prone to human error. The automated way handles all of that. But the biggest change, the real game changer, is that last point. It frees up highly trained pharmacy staff to stop managing boxes and start focusing on clinical patient care. And the benefits are felt by everyone. For patients, it means fewer errors and shorter wait times. For the hospital, it means big cost savings and a rock-solid audit trail, which is so important. And the staff, they're finally freed up to do the job they actually trained for, counseling patients and working with doctors to make sure the care is the best it can be. And this right here is the ultimate goal. Imagine completely flipping the script so that 80% of a pharmacist's time is spent on high-value clinical work. See, this was never about replacing people with robots. It's about elevating people by letting the robots handle the robotic work. Now, like any huge technological leap, it's not some magic bullet that solves everything overnight. It's really important to have a balanced, realistic view of what it actually takes to get these systems up and running. Because there are definitely real-world hurdles. First off, these systems are a huge upfront investment. Then you've got the challenge of integrating them with the hospital's existing software, which can be tricky to say the least. There are ongoing costs for maintenance, and of course, every single system has to be adapted to meet very strict and often different regional regulations. All of this makes one thing crystal clear. Putting this kind of tech in place isn't like buying a new piece of equipment for the lab. It is a massive strategic decision that changes how people work and impacts the entire organization from the top down.
But when you weigh all those factors, the goal is to build something incredibly powerful, a pharmacy that's safer, that's way more efficient, and that's truly ready for whatever the future of healthcare holds.
You know, this quote from our source material really just nails it. In a world where things like accuracy and patient safety are completely non-negotiable, a connected ecosystem like this is designed to hit every single one of those marks.
And that leaves us with one final thought to chew on. As our healthcare systems face all this pressure from rising costs and staffing shortages, this kind of automation might be more than just a nice to have. It might just be the very prescription we need to build a healthier future for everyone.